Hey, we are live. How about that? Hey, happy holidays, everyone. To all my ninjas out there and to all my future ninjas, I hope that you and your families have safe and happy holidays. I hope that you don't overeat and that if you have travels, that all of that is safe as well. That's not what we're here to talk to you about today. But it's that time of year where it seems like the I want to think about it go through the roof. And sometimes it's not them saying, I want to think about it. It's them saying, hey, we've got a lot of stuff going on for the holidays here. Maybe we can do this stuff after the holidays. Are you guys hearing that out there? If you are hearing that, I need to know, right? Because I want to interact with you on this today. Also, if you are watching this live, will you please comment live down in the comments? All right. And if you're watching on a replay, please just comment replay. Okay. That helps us to get this out to more people. And I sincerely appreciate it. All right. So let's get to talking about what we're here to talk about today. And that is the I want to think about it objection and why it happens. Anybody know why it happens? Put it down in the comments why you think it happens that you're getting the I want to think about it or after the holidays. All right. After the holidays is a delay, but it's basically the same thing as I want to think about it. They're telling you, hey, I don't think the problem's big enough and other things are more important to me right now. Okay. So here are some of the reasons that you're getting stuck with the I want to think about it objection and what you can do to help overcome that for you, for the company, and for the client, right? Because everybody wins when the client gets what they need. So first and foremost, let's talk about the I want to think about it. I want to think about it is not a real objection. I'm going to say that again. I want to think about it is not a real objection. It's a smoke screen. I'm going to quote the late, great, oh my gosh, Ron Smith. Ron Smith, if you know him, he's a legend in the HVAC industry. And Ron Smith says that when a client says they want to think about it, they already thought about it and stopped thinking. If you like that, hit the heart. Whenever a man or woman says, I want to think about it, they already thought about it and they stopped thinking. All right. Your clients don't need to think about anything. There's either a lack of trust or probably a financial issue. All right. And you've got to get to the bottom of it in order to help them to relieve the stress that they're holding in by telling you that they want to think about it. Look, if it were free, would they need to think about it? That should answer a lot for you. So I've got a couple notes here to share with you. Number one, first thing that I find people saying I want to think about it about is when you have no need established or there's no urgency. Urgency comes from the client coming to their own conclusion that something needs to be done. Have you ever had a client say to you, what do we do about this? Or clients that seemed like they didn't even care when you were talking to them. The ones that said, what do we do about this? They actually felt like there was a problem, like there was a need. Maybe their system was broken down. Maybe it wasn't, but they felt like there was a need and they needed a solution. And you were there to help them, right? But when the client doesn't even seem to want a solution, it's because there's no need established. And if there's no need established, there can be no urgency, all right? Some of this comes from you talking too much. Did you know that you'll talk your way out of more sales than you will ever talk your way into? Do you know that we don't talk our way into sales, we listen our ways into sales? And did you know that if you listen to a client, they will tell you exactly how to close them? Guys, by the way, if you're watching this live, please comment live down in the comments. If you're watching on a replay, please comment replay down in the comments for me. I really, truly appreciate that. So some of this comes from you talking too much. And I remember back in the day, I think I was 21, 22 years old when I bought my first house. Some of you may have heard the story. Most of you haven't because you haven't been to my live events. But we tell the story at the live events. So I had bought a house and there was a horrible, the municipal water, the city water was horrible. And it was causing all kinds of problems with my plumbing, but it was also causing problems with rashes and stuff like that, drying out your hair, drying out your skin. So I called out a water softening guy and he sat down in my front dining room. I had this glass table and we sat down and he unfolded this yellowed sheet of newspaper and began to brag about his resin. Now, do you know what resin is in a water softening system? Because I had no clue. And when he said resin, I went on a day trip. Like I disappeared from the conversation. And in my mind, I was repeating the word resin over and over. Resin, resin, what's resin? I couldn't even come up with an answer. Like, and then it got kind of funny because the only resin I knew of was this ball that my brother brought home and left on the counter one time and got in real big trouble with my mom. I had no clue what he was talking about when it came to resin. So like 3 minutes goes by and he's talking and I'm not listening. I'm daydreaming. And then all of a sudden, everything came crystal clear again, and I could see him again, and I could hear the words that were coming out of his mouth. And I said, "Stop." And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "What's resin?" And then he explained it to me, and I understood it. But at the moment that everything became crystal clear for me, before I said stop, I went, "Oh my gosh, this is what I've been doing to my clients. I've been talking about the AFUE and the flux capacitor and SEER, and I've been losing them. No wonder sometimes they look like a deer in the headlights." I'll prove that this happens with you too. Have you ever been on a call with a customer? Let's say they're 75, 80 years old. They're a widower or a widow, and they're those type of people that just like to talk, right? You've completed your work. You got your clipboard, you got the check, you've got the payment, whatever, and they just keep talking. And you're shaking your head to be polite, but you're somewhere else in your mind. You're not even listening, are you? Did you know that that same thing happens when you talk technically to a customer? When you use technical jargon that they don't understand? So I'm going to encourage you. One of the ways to get around this is start calling things what they do, not necessarily what they are. All right. Try to stay away from the super technical language. I get a hard time about this all over the industry, but here's an example. Capacitor. Most people don't know what a capacitor is, right? So we used to call it a battery cap because it was kind of like a battery, right? Or we would call it a torque booster, right? Something that kind of said what the product did so that it was self-explanatory for the customer, and I didn't have a resin moment with them. A contactor might be called a starter because it starts the system, right? They can understand these things a little bit better. So let's get rid of some of the technical jargon. Let's stop creating that resin trip or that day trip that the client is going on, and you will see increase in your success. All right. If you guys are getting anything out of this, I need you to hit that like button. I need you to hit the comment button. Go ahead and comment live. If you're watching us live right now, please, will you do that for me? And I'm going to keep going, sharing some serious value with you about how to get this I want to think about it objection to go away. All right. If you're watching us live, please put live down in the comments. So guys, confused minds always say what? Confused minds say no. All right. If the client is confused about something, do you think they want to tell you? Doesn't that lead to embarrassment? And isn't embarrassment one of the worst feelings that you could ever feel? Think about the last time you were embarrassed. So this is, again, another reason that we want to start talking in simpler language for the client. Think about 3rd to 5th grade reading level. All right. Number 2 reason that you're getting this I want to think about it objection is because they don't trust you. Have you ever just known or felt like there wasn't any trust between you and the client? Did you know that that comes from talking too much? Again, we want to listen. And I'm going to give you a little tip here. You can talk at a client. You can give them information, but you have to do it in a very special way. You have to turn the information that you're going to give them into a question. All right. And you don't let them answer every question, but you lead their thoughts with the questions. If you rewound this tape, you would find that I've been doing some of that with you, haven't I? I've been saying things like, did you know? And then I'll give you a piece of information. I'll say, were you aware? And then I'll give you a piece of information. I can fire 3, 4, 5, 6 questions at you in a row, and I'm controlling what you're thinking. Am I not? Did I just do it again? Okay. So you want to stop talking at the client and then add a couple of words in front of the information that you're going to give them. Words like, did you know? Were you aware? So you didn't know. So you weren't aware, and then fill in the information that you want to give them. Why is this important, guys? It keeps their attention and does not let them have that resin trip on you that we were talking about before, that daydreaming trip. If you are losing them in your communication, it's no wonder you're getting the I want to think about it objection, because they're confused. And remember, again, what does a confused mind always say? It always says no. Okay. And you don't want that from your clients. All right. So the other reason that trust can sometimes be low is because you're not taking enough time. I have some guys in my sales training program, my Lead Ninja Mastermind program, where I train them twice a week. And I just got a report back from one of the bosses that my guys in the training class are going out and they're creating a prioritized list, things that are mandatory, things that'll need to be done in the near future, and then things that would just be really nice to have, right? I teach them how to create these lists. And they're going out and creating a $15,000, $20,000 list, only having been at the client's house for 30 minutes. You can't do that, guys. Time equates to value and money for people. They like people who are thorough. Have you ever gotten a job because they said you were the most thorough? Put it down in the comments. I want to know who's gotten a job because they were the most thorough person. Guys, I really, really wish I could read these comments. Unfortunately, my new setup is so small that it's really hard for me to read them. But I'll go back through and I'll read the comments after this live for you, okay? So if you increase your thoroughness, the amount of time that you're spending there, that's going to stand out. When I go out to do a tune-up for a client or an inspection on any system in the house, I'm going to spend 75 to 90 minutes doing that work, being super thorough, doing a full inspection before I ever go and create a list and have a conversation with the client. That time that you're spending on the job, so long as they have the time, and you must get a time commitment up front, so long as they have the time, is going to increase the perceived value that you have delivered for the client. So stop worrying about the next call that you got to go to or dispatch being up, down your back, breathing down your back. Dance with who you are with. Would you rather run 9 calls a day or 3 calls a day? If you're an owner, would you rather your guy run 3 calls a day with a $3,000 average ticket or 9 calls a day with a $1,000 average ticket? Which makes more sense to you from a monetary perspective? Of course, 3 calls at $3K. I'll take that every time, and I will just cancel the rest of the calls. Some of you think I'm crazy, but if you're going out and burning calls and you're getting 0 tickets, you might as well take $200-$300, put it in an envelope, lick it, throw a stamp on it, and send it to them, and just not even go out because it's costing you that anyways. Can I get a hell yeah down in the comments if you're feeling what I'm putting down right now? All right. Here's the third reason that they're giving you the I want to think about it objection. Third and final reason. Your client can't see how they can afford it many times. Did you know that the statistics that I recently read were that I think it's like 60+% of the United States does not have $600 in savings, $600 in reserves. And you go out there and you show them a $3 or $6 or $16 or $60,000 list, and you wonder why they're stuck. And you wonder why they don't tell you because they're embarrassed again. You've got to make things easy for your client. You've got to make it so that it's not embarrassing for them. So how do you handle this? I'll actually give you, if you'll put down in the comments, if you'll put close, the word close, CLOSE, I will have my team send you our payment plan close that will help you to close a lot more deals. It increases closing ratios about 20 full percentage points when you use it. And you do want to have some urgency, all right, in order for it to really, really get the full effect. But I will send you our payment plan close. You got to put close down in the comments, though, or you don't get it. We do apologize. I'll share it with you right now, though. So your clients can't see how they can afford it. They don't want to tell you. All right. So if they say something like, we're going to think about this, we'll call you after the holidays, you want to take the pressure off. So I normally say something like, that's not a problem before I take off. Like, so why do I say that's not a problem? Why am I being so agreeable? They've got their guard up. Yes or no? If I say that's not a problem, what happens to that guard? Usually lowers just a little bit, maybe so I can slip a jab. Okay. So I'll say that's not a problem before I take off. Is there anything on this list that you feel is overkill or unnecessary? Normally, they're going to point some stuff out. Is now the time for me to try to sell them on that stuff? No, not at all. I'm just going to cross it off the list. Does that mean that I can't sell it later? Of course not. Cross it off the list. Then ask them again. Is there anything else on this list that you feel is overkill or unnecessary? Listen to the tone and inflection. The delivery is super, super important on this. Your tonality, your cadence, your rhythm, all of that is what separates the men from the boys when it comes to sales. Memorization is the lowest level of learning. All right. I can give you something to memorize, but if you don't deliver it right, is it going to come out right? Is it going to work right? Possibly not. All right. So make sure you get the tone and inflection on this. So, is there anything else on this list that you feel is overkill or unnecessary? Once they say no, once we've crossed out everything that they feel is overkill or unnecessary, I'm just going to confirm that they feel the other work does need to be done. So I'll go, so you do feel like the rest of this needs to be done? You're not just saying that to be nice to me. It's a little teeny tiny bit of humor in there that a lot of times will give the client a little bit of a laugh. All right. People buy when they're feeling what? That's right. Good. When you're laughing, how do you feel? My whole job while I'm there is to make them feel good about buying from me. Okay. This is how we do it. We do it with our tonality. All right. So you do feel the rest of this work needs to be done. And you're not just saying that to be nice to me. Level with me. How do you feel about the money? That's how you bring it up, guys. Level with me. How do you feel about the money? Most of the time, to avoid embarrassment, they're just going to say, it's a lot of money. I wasn't expecting that much money. Here's where you got to actually have a little bit of cojones. All right. Male or female out there, you got to muster up something here. And you got to just say, do you have the money? Or do you have that much money? Nice and soft. Remember, I've been here 90 minutes already. I've earned the right to ask these questions. They genuinely do feel like something needs to be done, but they're holding back because of the money and they don't want to tell me because they're embarrassed. All right. Now, here's how I know that this is okay to ask. It's okay to ask them if they have the money. How do I know? Because half the clients that you guys have out there tell you they don't have the money. What's the big deal? I've never had anybody kick me out of their house because I asked them, do you have that much money? But hear the sound, hear the sound of my voice, hear the tone, hear the inflection. It's got to be delivered right. All right. Not once have I ever had somebody tell me, Gene, that's none of your business. Or not once have I ever told anybody or had anybody tell me that I needed to leave the house because I asked such a personal question. How many of you out there, your parents told you it was impolite to talk about money? I'm going to call BS on that. All right. Rich people talk about money with their kids. It's about all they talk about. And that's why they stay rich. Poor people don't talk about money because they don't want to experience the misery that they're in any longer. They'd rather drown it out than talk about it, right? I'm here to tell you, money is okay to talk about with your kids. You want to talk to them about money. You don't want them going out into the world with the kind of financial education that you were given from the high school that you went to, do you? So you want to talk to them about money. You got to get it out of your head that it's bad to talk about money. Do it for yourself. Do it for your family. Do it for your customers. Do it for the company. All right. Just desensitize yourself. If you're afraid to ask, action cures fear. Just get into action. If that makes any sense. All right. I'm going to round this out here pretty quickly, and then I'm going to share a couple other quick little things with you. All right. So, do you have that much money? Most of the time, they're going to say no. That's exactly what I want. I just turned the I want to think about it, or I've got to delay until after the holidays into I don't have the money. We can deal with not having the money, can't we? You guys have got payment plans. So after that, once they tell me they don't have the money, I want to bury the price objection. Now, what do I mean? I'm going to go, okay. So it's not so much you need to think about it. You already thought about it. It's the money. Like, this is huge. The money objection is the one that we want. It's the one that you can handle. You can't handle a smoke screen, guys. You should be excited when they bring you the price objection, but you'll only be excited if you've got these kinds of payment plan closed, locked, cocked, and ready to rock. Okay. So do you have that much money? No. When will you have the money? They're going to tell you, I don't know. You're going to say, take a guess. They're going to say, I don't know again. You're going to say, take a guess with a different tone. It's kind of like this. When will you have the money? I don't know. Take a guess. No, I really don't know. Take a guess. Usually I only have to tell them twice and they'll take a guess. And they'll say something like, sometimes it flabbergasts me. Well, I'll have it in 2 weeks. Really? That's easy for us to handle, isn't it? Or I'll have it in 3 or 6 months. Maybe by the next time you guys come out here, Gene. Got it. So you'll have it in 6 months, maybe 12. All right. We'll go ahead and take care of it for you and you can pay us when you get the money. They're going to go, how's that work? I'm going to repeat myself. Basically, I'm going to say, I do it now and you pay when you get the money. That's going to close about half of them. The other half is going to go, no, really, how's that work? And I'm going to just reply something like this. You're going to get a statement in the mail every month. You're going to pay $59 or whatever that minimum payment is, and the balance in 6 months. And shut up. Most of the time, they're going to say, okay. You're not even going to believe how well this works. All right. As soon as they say, okay, you're going to have them initial your paperwork, right? Once we commit with our initials, the brain goes to work to justify what you just did so that you don't have buyer's remorse. All right. So you want their mark on the paper. And then all you've got to do is say, it's okay if we look at your credit, right? Hear the tone and inflection, practice the tone and inflection. All right. So, guys, that is why you're getting yourself into a situation where you're getting the I want to think about it. And those are the things that you can do in order to handle them. Now, if you want even more, you're going to want to take a look at December 8th through the 19th. This is a phenomenal opportunity, guys. I haven't done this in 4 years, at least 4 years. December 8th through the 19th, we're doing a 10-day double your sales challenge where I'm going to train you and your guys live for an hour a day for 10 business days in a row. All right. It is super, super, super cheap. All right. To put it in perspective, I get over $5,000 an hour when I'm doing one-on-one training, sometimes significantly more. This is a fraction of that. So if you want to get your guys trained almost on me at a super, super cheap rate, put challenge down in the comments. All right. Put challenge right down in the comments. And here's what I'm going to do for you. I am going to go ahead and show you this. I'm going to put this here. And then actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the comments. All right. I'm going to go down to the comments and then where is it at? Boom. And here, boom. And now it's in the comments. All right. It's the leadninja.net/mastermind-sales-training. All right. And that's going to get you guys set up to get into our 10-day double your sales challenge. It's the cheapest thing that I ever offer. Okay. The cheapest program. Like, think about it. 10 full days of having your guys be able to ask me the questions that are stopping them from making the kind of money that they want to make. If you're an employee or if you're a salesperson, you want to get this to the owner, or hell, it's actually cheap enough for all of you guys to afford as well. And if you do exactly what I share with you, you will double your sales in 10 days. I'm going to help you to do that, but you're going to have to do the heavy lifting. I'm going to show you exactly what to do. It's definitely possible. Many, many, many people have done it. They've doubled, they've tripled. I've even had somebody quadruple their sales in that 10-day period. All right. So put challenge down below. And then lastly, if you've been following me for a while and you've seen that we do these mansion events and you want to go to one of the mansion events, the next one is January 8th through the 12th in Orlando at the Grand Hala Mansion. All right. You're going to have to comment mansion down below, or if you want, I'll do this for you. I'm going to give you my cell phone number. All right. My cell is 239-848-6533. 239-848-6533. Let me see if I can get it up on the screen here for you. 239-848-6533. Boom. Here it is. Bam. That's my cell number. All you got to do is text me the word mansion and your name, or challenge and your name, and I will make sure that it gets to the appropriate people if I can't handle it myself at that moment in time. All right. So guys, please share the stream with somebody who needs to keep from getting bonked over the head with the I want to think about it objection over and over and over and over again. I once heard Andy Elliott say that if somebody walked into a room that you didn't know and they slapped you across the face and just kept walking, the next time they came around the room, would you be ready for them? You dang skippy you would, right? Then why is it that we don't figure out how to solve these objections? I got news for you. They're all solved. I have them all in a vault. All you've got to do is come to the 10-day double your sales challenge and you can get some access. All right, guys, I love you. You gave the link for the mansion event on the live. Okay, so that was the link for the mansion event. I guess in order to get the one for the 10-day double your sales challenge, that was Priyanka, my COO. She's like, you gave the wrong link. Then just text me at this number below and I will make sure that you get the right link, or comment comment challenge, and my people will make sure that you get it. Love you guys. Hope you have an amazing day. Go out there and slay some dragons, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.